All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to round number 4 of the North American Grand Prix Monday Night Open Wheel Championship, coming to you live from Zandvoort, the 1967 layout of this wonderful track. And we are in the practice session right now. We're about to switch it over to qualifying here momentarily, but before we get any further, let me welcome my partner here on Monday nights, Brad Maris. Brad, welcome.
Yeah, good to be here, Al. Boy, this track is driving around. It's like a brother from another mother, really. You know, we've all had the opportunity to drive around Zandvoort, but nothing quite like this. It's different out there. It's got the beachy feel to it, but no surfboard strapped to these Ferraris. I tell you that. It's a twisty, fast little run around this place. Only one big trouble spot in terms of survival, but boy, it becomes pretty difficult when all of your rivals are out there and trying for position. So yeah, fun test here tonight in our 4th round.
Well, the guys are making their way out on their out laps here to start this qualifying session. Take a quick look at the track map for tonight's race. 19 corners. Some of it, first sector, may look familiar to the modern layout of Zandvoort, but other than that, it is pretty much an oval. Not many left-hand corners around this place, and pretty exciting thrill of ride around here. A lot of undulations, 4.52 kilometers around this track, and tell you what, it is, like Brad said, certainly a thrill ride, and it's a quick lap around this place.
Yeah, it is. When looking at the track map, really the main concern is a couple of the last final corners. There's a bit of a chicane. Kirkbride's rolling through it now, actually coming up the final corner. More or less, there's a little kink coming up to the start finish, but
jump on board with Kirkbride.
Yeah, that's the main trouble spot in terms of really getting something wrong. Now, you know, of course, when you're pushing the limits, that's a whole different type of animal in this Ferrari 312 here. We're going to see Kevin Kirkbride entering the well-known part of this circuit. We've all, of course, driven this place and like it. Most of the guys like it, but this is a very much more slow speed variant than what we're used to. And once again, this Ferrari 312 gets around these corners pretty well, Al. It's a fun drive. Got a bit of grip on offer, but you still have to be careful coming into this right-hander. And it's a very quick another right-hand sweeper. Oh, onto the beach a bit there on entry to that corner. And now it's a series of sweepers that don't really show up on the track map, but you do have to be showing a little bit of caution coming through these left and right sweepers. Another right-hander, another left. Whoa! And there's some guys getting up on that berm, but managing well. I saw a couple other guys in practice doing that as well. And a tricky corner here, a tricky braking entry here, and that is coming off basically the final corner right there. So.
Yeah, you see, you can hear the guys really pretty much flat out most of that back section, but a few lifts here and there, but like you said.
It's a few lifts, right?
Yep, but pretty amazing run. So Hefner jumps the provisional pole, 119.202, his teammate, 900ths of a second behind him as the lap's he's quickly setting a lap here. These guys have a tendency to get 2 laps, I would say, out of 2 flying laps before they pull it in. Some maybe a couple more. So watching Mark DeGras here making his way out on a flyer. Rob, fortunate DNF last week, was leading briefly at Monaco. Rough night last week, and he is up in the first sector, but rough night for a lot of guys last week at Monaco. Kirkbride winning that race, only 3 guys finishing on the lead lap, I should say, and guys managed to salvage some points, and let's just move on, take it over to Zandvoort for a fresh start here tonight, which should shape up to be a good race.
Yeah, survival is gonna be a bit easier around here. It's you're not gonna be able to mail it in, but it'll be easier.
DeGraw coming around to take the stripe, and he is not going to improve. However, Hefner does improve his time to a 119 flat. The server best in practice was an 18.6 by Philippe Samard earlier in the week, but Hefner not carrying any weight. Kirkbride carrying 50 kilograms of ballast, and he is in second, 2/10 off of his teammate. Bevy of traffic in the first. What is going on here, Brad? I think someone's having some lag issues here. Hang on 1 second. Let's rectify that.
I'd boom it just for laughs, but no, it's not terribly funny.
He gets the message. All right, back out here. Hefner continues on a flying lap. Hefner was running quite well last week at Monaco. Was actually, he just pulls it into the pits here. The pit lane, as you can see, is pretty much on the track. It's not no pit entrance, nothing like that. It is a pretty hairy in and out. As Samard on a flyer now going into turn 1. Oh, he parks it. He improves to third. 3/10 off of Hefner. Alan Jacobs now up to fourth.
Yeah,
7/10 off.
Yeah, sorry. Of course, Philippe Samard there come away with no points last week, so he's looking for quite a bit of redemption here.
Yeah, a bit after winning the first 2 rounds. Samard was leading again last week, but suffered a DNF, had some damage early, got repaired, went back out, and then had some more trouble that led to his not being able to complete the race. So now finds himself on the back foot in terms of the standings, giving up a boatload of points to Kirkbride after last week, and finds himself now in second place in the standings. So we'll touch on all that stuff a little later. On board with Alan Jacobs here. A bit off through the first 2 sectors. Has a little bit of traffic up ahead of him. Doesn't look like it's going to be an issue. Big counter steer there, making his way onto the main straight.
Yeah, these will move around even in the high-speed sweepers. They'll move around a bit, so you got to stay on top of your corrections.
Parsons now has improved. He jumps up to fourth, 6/10 off of Hefner. Parsons, aside from Kirkbride's drive last week for the win, you gotta hand it to Parsons, who put in what could have been the drive of the night. Yeah. After having some damage, falling all the way back to 22nd at Monaco, finishing on the last step of the podium on the lead lap. He was a lap down a couple times, I believe, but battled his way back and persevered.
Yeah, pretty ridiculously good drive, all things considered. And of course, it helped him that he crashed. He was one of the very earliest to crash, right?
Parsons through the first sector, 4/10 off. Samard, meanwhile, just ahead of him on track. He has gone green in sector 1. And he is up in the second sector again. DeGraw up in sector 1.
Philippe Samard continues to be up, though. He is really struggling with this 3:12. Looks like he's going to improve his time here, however.
This looks like a good lap for Samard. Ooh, not good enough. Lost a bit of time there in the final sector. And good enough for second, however. Samard carrying, I believe, as DeGraw takes it off. Samard carrying 20 kilograms of ballast going into tonight's race. Chris Moses now has worked his way up to 5th. Should be said, a bit of a disappointing start to this season for Moses. Pretty far behind in the second sector. And Samard is still on a flyer here. He is 2/10 up in the first sector. Gup Douglas checking in. Gup, long time no see. Welcome back.
Yeah, I have a feeling some of these guys are really going to be fighting for this pole. This could be a very tight time here among the top 5 or 6 for who claims
that's
this
big in sector 2.
Yeah. Still looking good. Oh, he doesn't have near the counter steer he did the last lap, so he's up big this time out.
Yeah, this should be good. Oh, as Joe LaCour now jumps up to second, bumping Samard down, but this may put him up top in the standings. Yep. 1:18.5. Wow, so that's server best lap. Best is practice time, so it drops Hefner down 4/10. And he'll be starting in second. One thing to note about this track, Brad, the start is 3 wide. I'm not sure if you knew that.
Oh boy.
I like it. Gonna make things interesting. So let's run down the pecking order here as just under 15 minutes to go. Joe LaCour in third with a big slide and a nice save. Kirkbride currently in fourth. Parsons in the 5th position. Chris Moses running in 6th. Alan Jacobs in 7th. Matt Taylor running currently in 8th as Hefner improves to an 18 and change, so 3/10 off of Samard. Mark DeGras running in 9th. John Houston in 10th. Ooh, looking a little ragged there. Iggy Chiodi with a nice lap going here. Currently in 11th. Kevin Miller back in 12th. John Wathen in the Purple Haze livery car. He is in 13th. Ryan Robbins running in the 14th position. Sean Ricker back in 15th. Tom Traskell in 16th. Harry Roth in the pits in 17th. Jesse Olson is in 18th, followed by Schubeck in 19th. Jake Feemster in 20th. Joel Ekman is in 21st, followed by Greg Myers, Jack Ivey, as Jack takes it off, and Chuck Carter in 24th, and Peter Burke back in 25th. So back out front, pretty quiet at the moment. Samard in the pits.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't seen a lot of improvement yet at the front. There will be some times that do come in and improve, but now I think it's the quick breath before the plunge, right?
I believe so. Hang on 1 second here.
Yeah, as Al tracks down whatever it is he's doing. Some interesting team notes coming up here with Samard and Joe LaCour. Really need to pick up some ground after last week's disappointment. So Samard picking up no points and Joe LaCour coming back, finishing very well at Monaco, coming back to 4th. But giving up a lot of ground is the French connection to the podium hunters, who now sit second in the championship. Is the French connection. So Philippe Samard and Ian Joe LaCour sitting 1st and 3rd, and that's going to go a long way toward helping them gain some lost points that they had last week. Good place to start the race anyway.
Okay, sorry about that. As we continue to follow Zach Hefner around 4/10 off in the first sector. Chris Moses is looking good in sector 1, but looks like he's struggling there in sector 2, and he's not going to improve. He's just under a second off of Samard's best lap. Joe LaCour, he is on an outlap. Matt Taylor is off track. Alan Jacobs looks like he is also on an outlap. John Wathen is on a flyer. Let's jump on board with Wathen.
Operate in about middle of the grid as they provisionally run, but Wathen, you just never know with John. Seems like he could start from anywhere and potentially finish anywhere on any given night. Typically, it's a DNF. Yeah, we know it. But Wathen's the type of guy you just never know that he could show up at any time. So.
Yeah, he certainly does have some flashes of brilliance, but it's all or nothing for good old Wathen as Jack Schubeck's turned around on track. DeGraw continues to set personal bests first sectors, but is really struggling in the second sector. Having a hard time getting a lap down.
We didn't get a chance to talk with all the mayhem last week about the dangerousness of the Monaco pit lane, but this pit lane isn't much safer, really. You talked about it being on the edge of the track. I mean, hey, those are 67 guidelines and regulations. We don't care how many go up in flames. We just so yeah, these pit lanes dangerous.
Big slide from Joe LaCour. It doesn't look like he will. Nope, he does not. Kirkbride, you got to hand it to Kevin Kirkbride, carrying 50 kilograms of ballast and is situated right up there in fourth.
Yeah. Well, you have to hand it to Kevin I'm sorry, Al. You have to hand it to Kevin Kirkbride, or you have to wonder what's going on with everybody else behind him who doesn't have weight.
That's another good point.
And probably both, right?
You would expect guys like Parsons, Taylor, Moses, as Wathen is qualified up to 8th. So great lap from Wathen.
There we go.
You expect some of these guys to be able to take advantage of that, weight disadvantage for Kirkbride, but that does not look like that's going to be the case at the moment.
Kirkbride, I'm watching him now, really on the limit through the last third part of the course, and looking very sharp. He obviously has gotten his laps in. He's prepared very well. The car's working very well. He's right for the course.
Might bump Joe LaCour back a spot, and wow, jumps up to second. So clipping his teammate by 100th of a second. Pretty amazing lap from Kirkbride considering all the weight he has on board. So we got 7.5 minutes to go before this session comes to an end. Let's see, Parsons on an out lap, looking a little further back. Moses on a flyer. And picks up a little bit of time, and he's going to lose it right here as he throws it off track. What DeGraw can do here as he comes to the line. Can pick up a spot? Not going to happen, as he's going to stay in the 10th spot. But great lap so far from Wathen and Alan Jacobs. Both those guys qualifying in the top 10. Iggy Chiordia. Oh, he is, I don't know what he's doing over there. He's off track, but he's in 12th. Miller back there in 13th.
Yeah, it looks like Iggy's found a hole. He needs to escape and get back in.
That's not good. Hopefully those guys don't enter the void during the race. Sean Rick, a little surprised to see him back there in 15th.
Yeah.
Struggling a bit as he sets his personal best of 120. But only good enough for 15th.
Ryan Robbins back there as well. Kevin Miller. I mean, Iggy is out-qualified all those guys at the moment. That's saying something. That's a damn good lap for Iggy.
It's pretty impressive running there for Iggy. Jump on board with Parsons now with just under 6 minutes to go in this session. Parsons about to start a flying lap. He's got a car coming out of the pit lane ahead of him. That's Peter Burke. Burke does a good job to check up. Burke back there in 24th. We talk about it every week, but very surprised to see him back there week after week for sure.
He's been struggling, and he's been very honest about it. He said that he just can't get his head wrapped around the car, or his hands wrapped around the wheel. However you want to say it, they aren't getting along.
Parsons behind in the first sector.
This is a driver, Parsons, however, who will become so...
Oh, that's Watson who took it off.
This is a driver who will get stronger and stronger with the car. I'm sure Peter Burke will figure some things out, but if there's a guy who's going to figure some things out, it's almost surely going to be Aaron Parsons, one of the winningest drivers in NAGP history.
Parsons is going to come to the line. He may improve his time, but not sure about his position. Neither happens. So he is going to remain in 5th. Taylor, though, on fire here as he comes to the line. This is gonna be, bumps Parsons. Was kind of pretty good first and second sector. Lost a bit of time in the final sector, but was quick enough to drop Parsons down to 6th.
Moses improves his time, does not improve his position, however, so it's still Moses in 7th.
Houston remains in 10th. Actually, no, he's jumped ahead of Mark DeGraw. Oh, DeGraw with an incident. Somebody threw it off, and he's had contact with somebody. Big slide from Joe LaCour. Go ahead.
There's a lot of space in some parts of this track, like off track, so that's part of the danger here tonight too.
Ooh, Joe LaCour takes it well wide. I don't know if that berm helped him or not. We'll find out. Still got it together here.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened, but it actually didn't hurt his time. His performance delta is actually, quite close to his best lap.
So Joe LaCour does not improve. See, Hefner 18.861 is personal best, shy of his teammate. On a flyer here. Let's see if he's got anything to say to Samard here in terms of this pole time. And he's behind in sector 1.
Yeah, you'd like him. You would like to think at least he would be able to out-qualify his teammate Kevin Kirkbride with that Kirkbride 50 kilograms on board. I mean, if you're Zach Hebner, you're thinking that. Boy, a lot of guys running up on that berm. I guess that's the fast way through, Al. I didn't do enough practice laps.
Yeah. It's the second time. Oh, big slide from Hefner. Keeps it together. Well, no, he doesn't keep it together. He loses it.
That's gonna could do it for him unless he gets out right away.
Samar's just sitting in the pit lane. He doesn't think anybody's got anything for him. So, and doesn't look like anybody does. I haven't seen anybody go green in any sector for some time now. So it looks like this is how the qualifying order. Oh, as Jacobs now slots up to 4th, Brad.
You're right.
Did not see that bumping Joe LaCour and Taylor. What a great lap from Alan Jacobs.
Well, that's the thing if you're Philippe Samard. I mean, pride comes before the second place or third place or fifth place fall around this place. You can't rest on your laurels because Ian Jolicoeur or Kirkbride or Hefner or somebody will snatch that pole position out from underneath you.
Kevin Miller has put a lap together here to move himself up to 8th, so that drops some guys down, qualifying ahead of Moses and Houston. So nice looking lap there from Miller. 8/10 off the leader's time. Now Kirkbride with just 17 seconds to go here. Kirkbride's last ditch effort here to put a lap down. He is 2/10 off in the first sector. Whoa!
Oh, Jesus.
Takes it way up on the berm and he backs out of it, so he lost a bunch of time there. Let's see. Hefner has, I believe he's got a lap going here. Taylor on a flyer. 3/10 off in sector 1. Hefner's going to be behind him on track. Tenths off through sector 2 for Taylor.
Hefner's done.
Just a handful of guys left out on track. DeGraw finally gets a lap in, up to 6th.
Wow.
Bumps Taylor down, his teammate, and Taylor returns the favor right at the closing bell here. Jolicoeur is done, and Olsen looks like he is not going to improve, so I think that's going to do it here in this qualifying session. See, Ekman's out on track. I'm not sure who's left out there, Brad. Oh.
I haven't gone through everybody else.
Oh, there we go. And that's going to do it. Philippe Samard going to take his 3rd pole position of the season. And Kevin Kirkbride is going to qualify in 2nd. Both these guys, Samard with 20 kilograms and Kirkbride carrying 50. And both these guys qualifying 1 and 2. I mean, I don't know what to say about that, Brad. That's pretty remarkable that these guys continue week after week to really be the class of the field. And, you know, they've got a lot of veterans here, a lot of very fast drivers who are not looking good at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, it was Matt Taylor that kind of spoiled the party a little bit in terms of the Kirkbride-Samard stranglehold on the season so far. With Taylor snatching that pole last week and finishing well at Monaco, but of course it was Kirkbride taking the win, right? Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Look, Samard, Kirkbride, those guys, great job. Of course, great pole, good recovery for Philippe Samard, gather some points back. But I don't want to talk about those guys. I want to talk about Alan Jacobs coming up to 4th.
Phenomenal.
That period, yeah, that was awesome. And I mean, yeah, those guys are running great. They're doing great. But holy cow, Moses, Parsons, Houston, where the hell are those guys? Now, to me, that says, at this point, you got to say, well, are they not putting the work in? What's going on? You got to start questioning that a little bit. But hey, the guys that have showed up and put the laps in, well, there you go. They're up there.
Well, single lap is one thing. Anybody can throw down a very fast lap. It's how you put it together for the race that counts.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes really quickly. The countdown now has been shortened, so 4 minutes after the session switches, so you got to be a little quicker here, Brad. Now, quick
God.
look, spotter's guide here now. If you're watching on Twitch, there's a link down there. It shows you a link to the spotter's guide. You can check out all your favorite driver and the livery and the number and what car they're in, what they look like, and yeah, pretty good. So other than that, let's take a quick look at the standings here for tonight. Kirkbride leading with 65 points. Samard 52. Taylor in third with 47. Hefner with 46. Joe LaCour with 43. The team standings: Podium Hunters 111 points. French Connection 95. That's Joe LaCour and Samard. Captain Clutch, that's DeGraw and Taylor with 70. T-Brock way behind at 37 points. That's Houston and Parsons. And Team Blue Gloves and Purple Helmets tied with 34 points. Pretty spread out there. After the really the first and second place teams, the really drop off in points below there. But we get this session. What do we got? Just under 2 minutes to go here. We got to run down the starting order for tonight's race, Brad.
Let's do it.
Let's make it happen here. All right. As you can see, these cars are going to be starting 3 abreast, making their way into turn 1, and it's going to be led by Philippe Samard from pole, his third of the season, followed by Kevin Kirkbride in second and Zach Hefner, his teammate, in third. Alan Jacobs going to be starting in fourth with Ian Joe LaCour in fifth.
Yeah, Matt Taylor coming off that second place finish last week will start sixth tonight. Mark DeGraw put in a nice time for seventh. Aaron Parsons starts eighth. Kevin Miller starts ninth, and Chris Moses just behind in 10th.
John Houston's going to start in 11th, followed by John Watton. Iggy Chiordia in 13th. Ryan Robbins starting in 14th, and Sean Ricker in 15th.
Jesse Olson starts 16th. Seems a little far back for him. Thomas Schubeck's going to start 17th. Tom Traskell's in 18th. Gary Roth starts 19th. Joel Ekman's in 20th.
Jake Thiemster is going to start in 21st, followed by Greg Myers 22nd. Chuck Carter 23rd. Peter Burke 24th. And Jack Ivey is going to start 25th. 26th is Lemansky, who had a penalty, and Omar just got in here. Going to be starting at 28th. Couple guys having some technical issues here. And that's about it. So we've got 28 guys, I believe, 27 guys starting tonight. Brad, any quick predictions before we go green?
Gotta watch the start. That three wide start is going to be nasty. Look for these guys to clean it up over from last week. That should be a good race, Al.
All right. Yeah, so lights come on. We're going red. And we are green from Zandvoort. And wow, slow start from Hefner. I'm sorry, from Kirkbride. That's going to allow Samard. Ooh, we got some contact a little further back there, Brad. Saw some guys come together.
Not seeing anything right at the back here just yet.
Looks like a couple guys in row number 2, I believe. Yeah, looks like Houston might have got caught up in something, and Samard quickly. Alan Jacobs now finds himself running in the second positions, got out ahead of Hefner and Kirkbride. Joe LaCour's got the Podium Hunters team split there. He is running in fourth. What a tremendous start to this race for Jacobs. Watch the field storm their way through here.
Back to fifth.
After that little contact in the back, it seems like it's been a pretty clean start here, Brad.
Yeah, I didn't see the contact you had mentioned, but it looked clean when I jumped on board here toward the back.
So Samard's going to lead here after lap 1. The timing's a little flaky at the moment. Oh, Jacobs and Samard, they both go off.
Wow.
Samard into the wall heavily. I did not see that, just caught it at the last second. Samard back on track. Hefner is now your new leader. I gotta wonder if, well, I don't want to speculate, but I'm not sure what happened there. I can only guess that perhaps maybe Jacobs got into the back of Samard going into 1.
Yeah, we didn't quite get a good view on it, huh, Al?
No, we did not.
Well, suspension damage. We know what that means. Bent steering wheel and trouble ahead for Philippe Samard.
Well, hopefully he can keep it together here. His wheel looks relatively straight, so he should be all right. I mean, just look at what happened with Parsons last week. Oh, and someone has gone off. Iggy has gone off. Oh, we got more contact in the back. Schubeck, and it looks like one of Jesse Olsen. Oh, some more. These guys get a little bit too rambunctious here in the early start. Ryan Robbins going 3 wide into turn 1, and guys start to check up. Jacobs looking. Oh, Robbins gets it a little wrong going into 1, but really, really tight there.
Yeah, that's close. Ryan Robbins' big rear lockup is what shot him kind of across right in front of Shoe. So pretty fortunate to I'll have all 3 of those drivers still running the track.
Taylor out.
Oh!
So Hefner now under some intense pressure here from Ian Jolicoeur. This is for the lead of the race.
You mentioned that this was going to be a much cleaner, easier race, or everybody was going to clean it up.
You did. As Jolicoeur looks on the inside of Hefner. These guys already coming up with some lap traffic here. Jolicoeur may have a run here on Hefner going into turn 1. And looks like Jolicoeur is going to take over the lead of the race. So a nice pass into 1 by Jolicoeur.
Yeah, that's where you want to make your pass. Look, if these guys are trying to pass anywhere but turn 1 where the guy in front is not making a mistake, then it's just it's a bad idea. Okay?
Right, he's throwing it off. Oh, Parsons and looks like Kirkbride. These guys are starting to close the gap up to one another. A little further back, it is DeGraw and Houston who are running pretty closely together. And not far behind them is Philippe Samard. So Philippe Samard back in 10. Oh! And Samard gets it wrong and backs it into the wall.
Oh, boy.
Oh yes, he's got some serious damage.
Boy, it's really come unraveled now.
Oh my God. So he's trying to get his, he's trying to gather it up here to see how the car's feeling, and it looks, oh yeah, he's definitely got some suspension damage.
Well, it's fortunate that teammate Ian Jolicoeur has got out front for the lead. They may need those points here pretty quickly, Al.
Yep. Well, Hefner and Kirkbride running team leaders, team championship leaders, running 2nd and 3rd. So they're in a good position right now. As we are following John Houston closing up the gap on Kevin Miller. I can't stress enough, people watching, just how difficult these cars are to drive. I know it. At times it looks a little crazy out here, but these cars are a handful, and a lot of these guys do put in a lot of time into this, and it's a tall order to run these cars around here.
It's an extremely difficult car to race. Okay, it does have pretty relatively decent performance for the age and the vintageness, but yeah, when you get around traffic, it's a nightmare.
A little further back, we've got Schubeck and Sean Ricker. This is for the last points paying position. Schubeck is all over the back of Sean Ricker at the moment.
Yeah, I stand behind my statement that the only place you should really be intending to pass somebody is into turn 1. If the guy has not made a mistake in front of you, you really should not even be thinking about it, because it's about impossible through these sweepers. Maybe this corner, if you're on Schubeck now, possibly you can get an inside line, maybe, but probably not, because you aren't going to be able to brake well enough to hold the front end without sliding into the guy, right?
Ricker got a great exit out of the final corner. Let's see if he gets a run here on Myers. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Schubeck looking on the outside. Not going to be able to get it done. Looks like Schubeck's got some pace over Ricker here, and perhaps even Greg Myers.
Yeah, seems pretty clear. So what a breath of fresh air here for Parsons. Moses Wathen up to 6th. Kevin Miller started back in the pack and now finds himself 7th. So, man, the problems up front have allowed some of these other guys to come through, and they are important points on offer for those guys. They got to capitalize.
Gorgeous says fast lap of the race. 119. He's already out to a 2-second lead over Hefner. You can just hear Schubeck just feathering the throttle through there as he closed the gap up on Ricker.
Yeah, that's another
do here.
Yeah, that's another problem we see with these cars is, look, they don't exactly coast on a dime, right? You can't just let off and expect to scrub a bunch of speed. So the guy in front gets loose, and here goes Schubes.
And Schubes gonna make a pass on Ricker, and he makes it stick. Yeah, so nice job by Schubeck, and he is gonna go to work on Greg Myers now here in a moment. A little further up.
Really nice job by Ricker, too, to let off nice and early, knowing that Schubes had made his intentions clear. Both drivers kind of saw what was going on. That's fantastic driving on both.
A little further up, Houston is all over the back of Miller. John Wathen, these guys closing up on Wathen. Wathen up to 6th.
Boy, the same principle applies here, closer toward the front, but the anxiety kind of ramps up. The further you get toward the front, the more the anxiety goes up for these positions. But yeah, the more important it is to not make that mistake if you're in those positions, right?
Watch this battle with Roth and Ekman, and a little mistake there from Ekman. Ran it a little wide. Roth had to check up, and that opened the door for Alan Jacobs to rocket past. Both those guys picks up 2 spots in one corner. So Jacobs now works his way back up to 11th.
He has worked his way back up. Samard continues that slide, though, now running a full lap off the pace of the front runners. Oh, Wathen, big mistake.
Oh, and he has gone off. Got it back together here, and looks like his steering is straight, so he should be okay.
It didn't look like there was any contact for John Wathen, just a spin into the berm, and I had a feeling Wathen had something for us tonight, Al, so you keep my eye on him.
Now's the time when you want to keep your eye on him. When he tries to catch back up to these guys.
Good point.
So Schubeck has gotten past Myers, and Richter has gotten past Myers. So now Gomez, Omar, is trying to make his way past Greg Myers for the final points paying position. Nice to see Omar got his technical problem sorted out. He was having some issues prior to the race, but got some help from the guys. Looks like he's got it going here.
Got it going and running right there, right, right behind the final points paying position, looking to advance.
Watching this battle here between Houston, Miller, and now DeGraw has joined the party.
Yeah, another guy, it has to be said, qualifying a little further back than we might have expected to see him, Mark DeGraw, so he also has benefited from some of the troubles in front to pick up some nice positions.
Can get a run on Houston here at the turn 1. Looking good. You can outbrake who here? And it looks like it's going to be advantage DeGraw. Yep, and he gets it made. Very nice pass there from Mark DeGraw on John Houston.
Boy, that John Houston showed us a tremendous amount of speed there in our first round at Kyalami. Ran into trouble, but that has kind of been a non-factor here. I mean, in terms of right at the front, the last couple, 3 races out. Looking a bit off pace as this season, even though it's early, has unwound.
These guys seem like they're getting quite a tow down the straight. Once they get tucked up behind one another. So a little further back, Ekman and Roth. And Schubeck's a little further back of these guys, but Ekman maybe holding up his teammate a little bit here, Roth. Roth might have some pace on him. Moses has closed the gap up on Parsons, and looking at Moses, teammates on Thursday nights. Oh, Parsons throws it off. He kept it off the wall. But can Miller take advantage here? No, Parsons gets it going again and stays out ahead of the battle behind him.
Yeah, so tricky, the braking and the lockups come so easily at the front and the rear in these cars, right? So not braking on your established line that you're used to, you've been practicing with, be so difficult. I think that's what caught Aaron out there.
Just the constant corrections as we're on board with the garage. Pretty insane.
Yeah, this is a tasty little battle, but these guys are going to have to be careful now in this close action.
Kevin Miller smelling blood here. He is, for a moment, closed up there on Aaron Parsons.
He is, but it's really a 4-way battle now. All the way back to that 8th position, John Houston, and boy, that 9th place Sean Walker not too far off of that. So this is a very tight grouping here on track.
Working lap 12 of a scheduled 47 laps. These guys, pit strategies have been all over the place this season so far. Don't expect guys to change tires. It's just going to be a gas and go situation. But the question is, at what point do they come in? Halfway will be around lap 23 or 24. Some guys we've seen put in a lot of fuel and take it as deep as they can. So we shall see how it goes.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looked like it was Taylor chiming in with his unfortunate game crashage. Yeah, got the grass soldiering on, and so it's an important fight that he's involved with there for that 7th place.
Ooh, Ekman looks like he's had a problem, and he has brought it into the pits, the service. So that opens the door for Roth to kind of... Giordia looks like he's a lap down. He's had some problem, but he's been all over the back of Roth here. So I'm not sure what happened to Iggy at the start. But his teammate Omar running in 15 and really putting the heat on Myers. Trying to follow both these battles between Miller and DeGraw, and this one with Omar and Myers, and soon to be Thomas Schubeck. Looks like Schubeck might have had a little issue there that threw him, gave up a couple positions. Yeah, not too much to report as I look at the time that's going from the front. Ride's been off
his pace a bit here the last couple 3 laps. Nothing too disastrous yet, but worth paying attention to.
Looking at Ian Jolicoeur's best lap, I mean, nobody's even close. 19.5.
Yeah.
Best for Jolicoeur, and Hefner running at 20.2. But again, don't know what these guys are running for fuel. Hefner may be running a little bit heavier here, therefore he might be a little slower. Most of the guys in the 20s, minute 20 range. Miller, it's going on the inside of Chuck Carter.
Yeah, clearly, if the fuel weight is not slowing you down that much, then you're going to want to stuff the car as much as you can, run as late as you can, and you save time on the refill in the pits, right? So that's what it's going to all come down to, is what kind of laps can you turn early in the race with the heavy fuel load.
Doesn't look like Schubeck or Omar are close enough to make a move here going into 1. Right on board with Schubeck. Ooh, takes his braking very late. Good job staying off the back of Omar.
This is an important race, really, for some of these guys. I think none more so than Thomas Schubeck. Myers, he's been struggling a bit too, it has to be said, really. So both these guys are looking for results, points paying results of any type, really all 3. So these guys are going to have to be careful around one another. I'd try to get a little deeper into this race before I really started to go for those positions, you know?
Just tuning in, you're watching round number 4 of the Monday Night Pickle Wheel Series here at NAGP. 15 laps into this event. And a number of retirements here. 4 so far. Jolicoeur leader after Alan Jacobs and Samard had some kind of coming together at turn 1, opened the door for after Jolicoeur to sweep past. Jolicoeur eventually made the move on Hefner at turn 1 and has been leading ever since. Number of battles going on here. Ooh, Iggy on the inside of Greg.
Omar.
And I'm sorry, yeah, Omar. I'm sorry. Schubeck though, with that little mistake, is able to get past Omar. So Schubeck back past.
Now looks like Ricker up ahead there in 13th has made a mistake. So this group has caught up to 13th place. Sean Ricker.
Oh, Schubeck off! Oh, and back on. Oh, and he's got, looks like he might have some suspension damage. Yes, he does. So Schubeck's going to have to work his way back into the pits to get serviced. Oh, what a tough break for Schubeck. He is having a good run. As the leader is coming up on him.
He may be able to go the distance from here. If he stuffs that tank full and gets the damage repaired, he's still in line for a good points paying position here. Just gonna have to stuff the tank full and go mistake free from this point on.
Not too far from the pits.
With some of these guys. I mean, Omar Gomez, yeah, okay, running 15th, but, you know, pretty good run for Omar. I gotta say, Al, he's looking pretty sharp.
Very good run.
He's looking good.
Yeah. Yeah, very impressive so far. He's been all over the back of Greg for a number of laps. He hasn't been able to get close to him. Getting onto the main straight to get a run onto turn 1. He's trying to force him into a mistake at some point, but Easier said than done. Omar driving out of Argentina along with his teammate Iggy. Got to get a little cleaner through there. But that's giving Olsen a run on Iggy here. Olsen back in 16. Houston still unable to do anything about Kevin Miller up ahead.
It's really easy also to defend in these cars. It's really easy to drive back onto the line when you make a small mistake, to defend the line, these types of things. So passing is difficult. And then on this track, like I said, once a guy makes a mistake, it's about impossible.
We've got some. Quick look at the running order here. Oh, Iggy has pulled the chute. He is done. Quick look at the running order here. Joe LaCour, I haven't talked too much about him, but he continues to lead. He's got a 5-second gap over Hefner in second place. Kirkbride 7 seconds behind the leader in third. We had a car off. I don't know who that was. Chris Moses running in fourth. That was Schubeck. He is done. Moses in fourth and 15 seconds off, followed by Parsons in fifth. DeGraw now up to sixth. Kevin Miller, we've been watching these guys. Oh boy, this is really tight now. As they are coming up here on Jack Ivey, who is a lap down. But that has really bunched up this. Wow, what a gaggle of cars here. Miller in 7th, Houston in 8th, Watson we're on board with is in 9th. And right behind them is Kevin Lemansky, who started from the back, now is in the top 10, running in 10th.
Another guy.
Jack Ivey is done, that's unfortunate.
Another guy, Kevin Lemansky, who is really in desperate need of a good result here early in this season. Hasn't posted the results yet.
Impressive drive so far for Lemansky. Behind him, Alan Jacobs, who was running as high as second in the early goings, runs in 11th. Sean Ricker in 12th. Greg Myers in 13th. Still being hounded by Omar Gomez in 14th. Jesse Olsen in 15th for the moment. Is he going to have a look on the inside? He is. Iggy with a big lock up into 1, and Olsen now in 14th, and Gomez in 15th. Pascal now running in 16th, followed by Samard in 17th out of the points. Ekman in 18th, and Chuck Carter back in 21st. The pit window is going to start opening up here for these guys.
Yeah, I should think it's been open for a little while. The tanks actually are pretty big on these things, so they should be able to go, pretty far past halfway. I should think they could make 27 laps for sure. So again, the only question is, I think the better way to go for these guys in general is to try to save time in the pits. So I suspect.
Whoa!
Oh, big wreck!
Big wreck! Who is that? That is DeGraw.
Oh.
DeGraw with the huge wreck, and Kevin Miller is done. DeGraw, he may be done. Oh boy.
It looks like a situation where somebody's probably trying to make a pass to stuff one in there where it is impossible to hold the line,
Yeah, he's going to have to get that off the track at some point. We got that on the boom replay. Miller and DeGraw done. So. That was terminal for two drivers who were running so well. I really couldn't say. I'm not sure if you caught that, Brad, how that all started. We know it was DeGraw who was turned the other way, but
no, I didn't see a damn thing, unfortunately. But it's an unfortunate. It's the type of place on the track where, you know, the only way that could really have happened is with contact. I mean, the way they ended up, right? I suppose it's possible that one could have followed the other off track with the same type of mistake, but it seems unlikely they could have gotten that high up on the hill without complete loss of control, contact, and tangled up. So, yeah, pretty unfortunate.
Well, the hits just keep on coming here.
Yeah. Well, look, it's easier than Monaco. It's way better, but it's not easy by any stretch.
Now Watson with a run on Houston into turn one. And Watson heavy on the brakes, gets the pass made. Beautiful pass by John Watson. I think he blinded him with that livery. Nice job by Watson, so he moves up into sixth. No, we were going good for a while. We had a couple retirements, but within the last couple of laps, we see DeGraw out, Miller, Ivy, Carter, Ross, Schubert.
Watson well and truly up on the berm, and Houston goes back by. Ooh, as Parsons makes a bit of a mistake, and teammate John Houston's closing rapidly on Aaron Parsons. Parsons with, I think he's got damage.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So he's right there. He's going to come into the pits. He's got to.
Fortunately, about halfway, so not going to lose much except for repair time, which could add up to something.
And meanwhile, Watson again with the pass on Houston. Houston looks to counter. He gets it done. Takes it back. These two guys going at it. These guys mixing it up here. Got Felipe Zamata lap down. Looking for a way past.
Yeah, and Smart almost surely has speed, but there's nothing you could do, really. Obviously, you can't try to make the pass a lap down when these guys are fighting for that position a lap ahead. So this is really tough for Smart right now.
Tell you what, Watson looks desperate to get past Houston here.
Yeah,
whoa!
No!
Into the wall for Watson. He's got damage, but he's not far from the pits here. Yeah, Watson's gonna come into the pit lane. Traskell in the pits.
Another computer problem. It sounds.
Oh, Gomez now goes off, and he's on his roof.
Oh God!
Oh, he is done. He is done. Unbelievable. We've had a slew of retirements here right before pit stops. Watson is in. Gomez is done. Watson is away, and Joe LaCour, our leader, now into the pits.
Wow.
So So Hefner's going to take over the lead now. With a 2-second gap over Kirkbride, his teammate. Moses is going to stay out. This seems like a long stop for Joe LaCour. Ah, he's away. He is away, comes out behind Kevin Lemansky. So our leader has pitted. Watson comes out behind Jesse Olson in 11th. Olson has yet to pit.
Yeah, I suppose really Hefner was not that far off of the Angelicore. So, I mean, if Hefner can, I don't know how much fuel they can take. But I mean, if you can go another, he's going to save time in the pits. If you can go another 10 or 15 laps, could be enough to overcome that deficit of 3 or 4 seconds, whatever it was.
With John Watson following Jesse Olson. Sean Ricker just ahead of those guys. Teammates running 9th and 10th. Keep in mind, both Olson and Ricker, I believe, still have to pit.
Yeah, I believe that they have to pit. But it's Simard back running back there at about 23rd place there at one point till all these retirements. Finds himself now running back up in the 12th spot and gaining back some points. So he has chosen the right night to hang around.
A look at the lap times now. Jolicoeur remains the leader with the best lap. Say leader. He has the best lap of a 19.5. Hefner is now, Kirkbride's dipped into the 19s. Hefner with a 20 flat. Watson getting a little dicey there on the brakes. Nice correction.
Oh.
Philippe Samard is done. That's 2 in a row. 2 DNFs back to back. For our pole sitter. Race winner.
Yeah, that hurts.
For rounds 1 and 2. Lemansky into the pits. Oh, looks like he overshot his pit, but he's got it in there for service. Joe LaCour has gotten past. Oh, big question here. Working lap 27 of 47. It's got 20 to go. Brad, how many do you think we're going to see take the checkered flag here tonight?
We've got a good chance to finish with about the drivers we have left. Yeah, let's call another 2 or 3 retirements. Put the over-under at 2.5.
Let's ask the crowd. Do they take the over or the under? I'm shooting for the over.
Okay, all right. I'm optimistic. I'm going to take the under. I mean, who do we have left? Got Trask. Well, okay. Well, Watson. But
Watson's the wild card.
Left. Yeah. I don't see a lot of guys left that typically pull the chute, right? You're going to soldier on to the bitter end.
Let's see, to Jacobs here running in 6th. He is doing well after that first lap situation he had with Samard. He has soldiered on here and back in the top 10. Meanwhile, Watson continues to pressure Jesse Olson here for the 10th spot. No, we know Olsen's got to, if you're susceptible to motion sickness, you may want to turn away when we're on board with Wathen here. He's had some very interesting lines through here. It's got me dizzy.
Kirkbride in.
All right, so Kirkbride pits from second on lap 29. Moses is going to taking over that second spot. He has stayed out. Uh-oh, what happened? Wathen now backs it into the fence.
Oh, he crushed the front of the Ferrari. So here we go. This will say much on our over-under here. I think the motor's dead on Watson's machine.
Yeah, he's got the wheels going. He's trying to get it back. Oh, yeah, it's over. All right, so Kirkbride rejoins just behind Ian Jolicoeur. So a good stop for Kevin Kirkbride. Picks up a bunch of time. Well,
he was closing in on his teammate, Al. So he might pass him.
The onus is on Hefner here for a quick stop. He's running it deep. Jolicoeur starting to increase that gap slightly.
Yeah, this is really gonna much will depend on Zach Hefner here.
What's Kirkbride do here? He's in the 5th position.
Well, it's a virtual second, though, right?
Yeah, that's true, but he is carrying a tremendous amount of weight.
Well, why won't you take the points and the weight? Because the rest of your competition isn't going to finish a race, right? So you might as well take whatever points you can get. I mean, there's no need to play a weight game if there's no game to play. I mean, nobody else would like them to finish.
So Jolicoeur now closing up on John Houston. Houston still has to make a stop. Look at the lap times. So Houston, yep, he still has to come in. Moses is doing fuel, as is Hefner. Now Hefner's starting to throw in some 19s there with his lap times, 19.777. So Hefner's starting to really get it together here, and he's going to stay on another lap. Yeah,
just run it dry at this point.
Following Jolicoeur, inching ever so closer to John Houston. This is, he does close up on Houston. Probably not worth the fight. Would probably benefit Hefner if Jolicoeur gets stuck behind Houston for a number of laps. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. Well, I can't imagine those guys out in front of Jolicoeur are going to be out there too much longer. I can't imagine they've got more than, well, I don't know, but what, 35 laps of fuel they can take? Can't be too much more than that. I actually even kind of like the car, Jeff. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a vintage guy. I actually really don't like the vintage stuff, but even I kind of like this car.
Well, it doesn't get any easier after this round.
Oh, what's next?
Spa 66.
Oh, God. Oh, the dream killer.
Oh, yeah.
It's even been nerfed, and it's still probably one of the toughest we've got. it's not going to be as bad in this car as the 49.
Yeah, for sure. But still, a handful nonetheless.
It's going to be brutal.
The gap between Kirkbride and Joe LaCour about 2.5 seconds. Moses is 17 seconds behind Hefner. Moses has not been able to claw back any time from these guys.
It doesn't. If you're Moses, you just need a finish inside the top 5.
Yeah.
Same with Parsons and those guys. Just anywhere.
As Moses takes it off into the wall.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, it just clicked away and he threw it off into the wall. Moses, he's got significant damage.
Yeah.
That might have been just a little brain fade there for Moses. And he's going to have to bring it in. So it might have been a little earlier than he had hoped, but he is in.
Yeah, that top 5 could be slipping away here because all those guys and Lickmansky has been running very good laps. I think will get by. So maybe Moses outside the top 5 with that crash, depending on repair time.
Once again, you got to hand it to, Hefner ran beautifully last week at Monaco. His incident was not of his doing. And his teammate Kirkbride running a near perfect race. And Joe LaCour tonight really driving well. He's up on the back of John Houston. This is, I said a little earlier, probably not the fight he wants to get into here, as Houston still has to make a stop. Depending on what Hefner does in the pits, Joe LaCour should retain the lead, we're guessing, once Hefner makes his stop. But
yeah,
again,
maybe.
Joe LaCour continues to lose time. He's got pace on Houston.
Let's see, the deep stoppers, a couple. Go back, hold on. Brands Hatch picked up about 3.5 seconds. It was like 10 laps. It was worth 3.5 seconds. Now I don't know that the fuel rate burn is lap to lap here, but yeah, I mean, 3.5 seconds. That's quite a bit, and we're almost 10 laps out from when Joe LaCour came in, right? So Hefner's going to be. I mean, if the Brands Hatch kind of timing holds true, then he's due to pick up some time.
We got somebody off track. I'm not sure. Well, he's got suspension damage. What's he going to do here? He's running well in the points. Running in 12th. Corners to go here before he can bring it into the pit. So it looks like he's going to soldier on as Hefner now is in. Where is Joe LaCour? He is making his way down the straight, and Hefner's going to beat him out by a significant margin.
Yeah, really saved a lot of time there with that on that fuel time. Yeah.
Houston comes into the pits.
Now, can Joe LaCour kind of stay composed here, or is he going to start really trying to push harder, over driving a bit?
That's a 7-second gap, 7.5 second gap.
Massive.
Huge. Keep in mind, he picked up about 9+ seconds here on Joe LaCour after that stop. Joe LaCour had about a 2.5 second lead going in.
Yeah, Joe LaCour's running decent laps. Only had one in the 19, but most of them in the low 20s, 20.5s. So not bad laps.
So Houston rejoins in 4th. Lemansky now up to 5th with Parsons after his damage repair behind him. Jacobs has pitted. He's fallen back to 7th. Ricker running in 8th. Moses has rejoined in 9th, and lap down. Followed by Myers, Olsen, Traskell has made it into the pits, and Ekman running in 13th. So some pretty close battles here. Jump on board with Moses for the time being as he closes up on Sean Ricker. Moses nearly losing it again there, a little snap. Back on board with Parsons. So 11 laps yet to go.
Yeah, definitely a few laps yet to survive. You just have to be so impressed with that Lemansky run here tonight.
Yeah,
And
keep in mind, Lemansky started from the back, had to serve a penalty, and he is in the top 5. Very impressive run.
yeah, and he has yet to stop, but
ooh, I did not pick up on that.
yeah, but nonetheless, still pretty damn impressive.
Well, when he does stop, it is going to be a quick one, and should come out ahead of Alan Jacobs in 7th. Moses looking to make a pass on Sean Ricker here down the main straight. See if Ricker counters here to turn 1 on the inside. No, he does not. Does not have the legs. Oh, and Ricker throws it off and back on. Hang on to that position, but does not lose any time. Greg Myers in 10th. How far behind him is Jesse Olsen. The gap between Hefner and Jolicoeur actually increasing a little bit, Brad. Nearly 8 seconds for a moment.
Yeah, it looked to me Jolicoeur, when Hefner did come out of the pits and Jolicoeur saw his predicament, I think Jolicoeur was in danger of really, is looking a little scrabbly there. He was overdriving pretty hard. But I think he's lost a little bit of time, right? But I think he's settled down a little bit now. He's going to need to if he really wants a shot to try to catch back up. Because frankly, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Hefner has just put too much of a gap in and is looking too solid at the front right now.
Yeah.
Barring any mistake or lap traffic. Always a possibility.
So it looks like another mistake for Moses. Now Rick is going to have a shot here into turn 1. Oh, yes. Oh, maybe not. This Moses looks like he's got some lagging issues going on here. He's got a little warp going on.
Yeah.
These kids are surfing on Netflix or something. Hopefully he gets that straightened out.
Yeah, it doesn't look horrible, but in any amount when you're behind a guy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's too much.
You're in Ricker's shoes. You're very nervous right now. Back on board with Parsons. He's close back up to Lemansky's. There's a little bit of a gap there for a moment. Lemansky's got to be super light on fuel at this point. This time of 120.1.
Now, I wouldn't have thought 40 laps would be possible, but apparently it is. And this is a pit stop time that these guys are going to be kind of taking notice of and piling away. How much time he is going to save. say the drivers that do remain they're pretty feisty. They're having a pretty good time out there.
Jacob sets his personal best lap of the race at 120.7. Very great drive from Jacobs. He was right up there at the start. Phenomenal qualifying. Started in 4th, I believe. Great showing for him.
Heck of a confidence boost. I mean, he started off strong at Monaco too, right? And was like everyone else. Literally everyone else got caught up, but. Yeah, so very clearly has the speed, and I think these types of results are only going to spur him on to bigger and better things. I mean, it seems pretty clear. It's like the cat's got some speed.
Oh, yeah. Now Jesse Olsen starting to close up here on Greg Myers for 10th.
Would be a nice for both these guys, Myers and Olsen, but Myers in particular, he has really kind of struggled. I don't know that he's even had a top 10 finish yet this season. Nope, no he hasn't. So has actually gotten points every race, but has not finished inside the top 10. So this would be a good night for Greg.
Let's see.
He's been a little down on his results. I know we'll talk about it.
We had 13 guys finish Monaco last week. We got 13 running currently at the moment here. We had a boatload of retirements. Wouldn't have expected this many guys go out here tonight. Oh, big contact between Lemansky and Ricker. They have a big coming together. Holy smokes, Lemansky's back on track and looks like he is okay. Meanwhile, Ricker is trying to get going here. Greg Myers caught up. Looks like he was able to avoid. Oh yeah, Ricker's got some significant damage.
Myers had to take evasive action into grass. Did allow Jesse Olsen to get by.
Wow. Yeah, so Myers drops a position to Olsen. Myers now in the top 10. Ricker in the pits for service. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So poor, tough break there for Lemansky. Fortunately for him, his car is in good shape. And at some point, we expect him to make a pit stop. 128.4. That was that incident he just had. So he has not come into the pits. Hefner. That's wrapped. So you can't see what kind of time they spent in the pits, but Lemansky keeps plugging away here. Working lap 42 of 47. Joe LaCour unable to make up any ground on Hefner. Saw it drop to as low as 6.6 seconds, but now up over 7. Kirkbride 12 seconds off his teammate. They were 2 seconds. That was a 2-second spread when Kirkbride came in before his teammate. But it's starting to look like running these races with a full tank or near to, close to it. Running late, Pete, the way to go.
Yeah, I suspected that was the case. So I saw some of those guys at again, Brands Hatch really pick up some time. It seemed like that was the way to go. So long as you aren't getting crushed early on in the race relative to the other guys around you. Boy, Joe LaCour is looking like he's warping a bit as well out there.
Our eagle-eye viewer, Gov Douglas, saying that Lemansky is short shifting a bit here. Maybe. Trying to conserve some fuel. Oh, Houston in the pits for a second. So Houston must have had a problem. He comes out in 6th, and Lemansky goes past for 5th.
Looks like I'm the one warping.
No, Moses is warping like crazy. So 6 cars on the lead lap. We got 3.5 laps to go here before this one's in the books. And we pack up and go to Spa.
Yeah, and
I don't see how it's going to be any better over there.
yeah.
I mean,
I'm looking for the silver lining. I'm trying to think of one, but yeah, I'm just not really seeing much but gray clouds.
we got the Nordschleife over in the horizon.
Oh yeah, well that'll be better. You know, Al, usually I sit back, I watch seasons like this, I think, these guys, these lightweights, come on. Now, but I understand the difficulty, okay? And even I think that. You know what, Al, I honestly do not think that about this car this season. Because there isn't enough performance on offer to want to get something out of the car. I mean, you have to just drive defensively. You can go for it. You can push a little bit. It's just in traffic. You can't. You can't do anything hardly. You can't race it well because there's no level of forgiveness, right? I mean, the grip isn't there to be able to make the moves you need to make a move. And so in traffic, you do have to be completely defensive.
Yeah.
And if a guy makes a mistake in front of you, then there's hardly anything you can do to react because you don't have the reaction time. So it's a very difficult proposition. You guys do not have it easy.
So Lemansky, looks like Houston and Parsons have both gotten past. Lemansky is now back to 6th. And he's still to stop. Now working lap 45. Oh, what's going on here as Moses takes it off. Moses, big impact into the barrier at turn 1. Holy
That's really
smokes.
weird. He was really slow going down the straight.
Yeah, don't know what happened there, but he's trying to get it together here.
Warp situation or something weird going on.
Yeah, he's definitely got some serious problems. Oh, looks like he just killed the motor. It's game over for Moses. His second DNF in as many races.
Yeah. I just okay. Wow.
Stunning turn of events here. Boy, that engine really gave out a vicious shriek when it let go. All right, so working lap 46. It's a lap and a half before this one is done. Evan Lemansky, I'm sorry, Zach Hefner, your leader. He's got a 6-second gap over Ian Jolicoeur. Looks like Hefner is really being cautious here as he enters this last lap. Jolicoeur's got not going to have an issue here getting past Greg. But Zach Hefner with a great run here tonight. An even better pit stop strategy, running very deep into this race on fuel, and really pulling one over on his teammate Kirkbride as well as Joe LaCour.
Yeah, and if you're his teammate, you're thinking, well, it's about time, because you really do kind of want that support. So, if you're Kirkbride, you have all that weight, you've been doing the lion's share of work, winning the races and everything, and you want the team to do well, of course, and so it's like, come on, buddy, pick up some weight, and then you're kind of on similar setup footing, if you're both running the same type of weight, similar weight and everything. Feels like it's just more of a team effort, right? So Kirkbride will be happy about this too. Good, strong team effort.
So Zach Hefner is going to cross the line here tonight. Your winner, surviving Zandvoort, take his first ever win on Monday night. Joe LaCour is going to finish in second. No doubt a bit disappointed there with that result. Probably thought he had a win in the bag. Kirkbride's going to take third and tack on even more weight. John Houston with a nice result upcoming here. He's going to finish in fourth. His teammate Aaron Parsons is going to come home in fifth. The story here is Kevin Lemansky. He must have pitted. I don't believe he made it the whole way without pitting. He could have, but I don't know. We'll have to find out. And Alan Jacobs going to take seventh with his career best result here at Zandvoort. Really nice run for him. And for the taxi service overall, his teammate Myers finishes in ninth. Let's bring in Zach Hefner. If we can find him here. Here he is. It's like baby steps to get him up here. Here we go. Zach Hefner, do you copy?
I copy.
Hey, congratulations on the win here tonight at Zandvoort. One of the few that were able to survive this track. Talk us through it, man. You had a very nice qualifying. I think you qualified in, what was it, third? I believe.
Third, yeah. I had at least 4 tenths in that lap, but I couldn't nail it. There's something about it. But
looked like a lot of guys were struggling there in qualifying. But yeah, in terms of the race, the track itself, I mean, a lot of guys had trouble out there. A lot of DNFs, but you and your teammate continue to run very cleanly. Joe LaCour had a good run. Also kept it very clean, but like I said earlier, you pulled one over on it. It looks like your teammate and Joe LaCour staying out late and really picking up a bunch of time on those guys.
Yeah, just filling it up. I didn't fill it up all the way, but I filled it up quite a bit. And then I don't know if you were ever on board with me, but it's kind of like the whole not 10 tenths but 9 tenths kind of thing. Just if I didn't feel like the line was right, I'd lift. If I didn't feel like it was right, lift. And it's just that little bit. I think you sacrifice maybe a tenth or two on the lap time, but it's safe.
Yeah, you had the fortune probably of being out front early, and it certainly helped. Where other guys, kind of in traffic, and it's always difficult in traffic when you can gain a position or trying to defend. Things can definitely happen. So, but nonetheless, not too many comments from me, other than congratulations, and this puts you obviously in a very good spot in the team classification, and you yourself in the driver classification. I think you're going to move up to second.
Yeah, that's nice. It's always about the team first, and we try to, as our name says, try to get them podiums. That's what it's down to.
Well, really quick before we let you go here, I know that first opening couple laps saw Samard and Jacobs go off. Did you happen to catch what happened? Was there contact between the two?
No, it didn't look like there was contact. It looked like Samard went in deep. I don't know if the tires were pulled or not, or if they just kind of misjudged the first braking zone. But Samard went deep, and then Allen followed him. And I think that was really it. I don't think there was any contact.
Oh. All right, well, next week we move over to Spa, another Another track that's known to play havoc here for some guys. How do you feel going into that? I know this is your. I don't know if you've run any laps previous seasons at that Spa 66, but it is a heck of a track for sure.
I think I got about one lap there,
All right,
and
well.
it's probably about a half a lap.
Wow.
It'll be nice. It'll be a lot longer, so less dealing with lap traffic, I think. But it's a long lap, so it's still kind of like Zandvoort, where you just gotta, the 9/10, not 10/10.
Well, congratulations, Zach, on your first win on Monday night. Must feel good, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
Try and move you down here.
I'll get it.
All right. All right, well, there you have it, Brad. We got another one in the books. Zandvoort. Turns out it was a doozy of a race for some of these guys. Works out a lot of DNFs. Surprising to me, anyway, that we saw this many retirements. But sometimes that's how things go.
Yeah, I guess looking at it now and kind of seeing how the race unfolded, had a lot to do with the high-speed nature of the track, and the flowing nature of the corners kind of all strung together. It really did add up to a pretty difficult proposition, as it turns out, especially even with mistakes from in front and guys really not having anywhere to go. That caused quite a few retirements itself, just guys getting caught up in others' misfortunes. So I think it's really only 3 teams that survived intact. I think the Podium Hunters and the T-Brock Dam Bam squad and maybe those taxi service guys, right? So really the story are going to be those guys and the type of points they're going to take out of this race. For everybody else, it's going to be what could have been. Just a strange night of quite a few more retirements than we would have expected to see. So yeah, on to Spa. We'll see if they can buck the trend at that place. It's going to be tough.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us here tonight. Thanks, Brad. And we're going to be back Thursday night for the GT race at Imola. Jack and Jake will have the call for that one. Until then, next week from Spa 66. So hopefully you guys can tune in 9 p.m. Eastern, both nights. Until then, thanks everybody for tuning in, and have a great week. Good night.